Hey everybody, welcome back to MOTOWN Monday. My intention was to give you something a little different this week in honor of the Vandellas. So here we go.
This guy wanted to form a girls group, and I went down for the audition, and which my mother forced me to go down for this audition. That was not my thoughts about being a singer at all. I was going to be an airline stewardess. I'm going to fly the friendly skies. But ended up going for an audition, and I was one of the girls that was chosen, to make it short. One of the girls that was chosen for the audition.
I remember going to the Y with my girlfriend. That's how I got down there. You know, she heard that this audition was going to be at the YMCA, you know, and he was auditioning all these young ladies that was running around. He had this little beat-up piano, and he'd hit a note, and he'd tell them to hit a ah, and he'd do that 2 or 3 times, you know, and then he'd tell them, okay, go sit down, you know, and I'm sitting there just waiting for my girlfriend. And he looks at me and he said, hey, you, come here and sing me a ah, you know. And I'm like, who, me? I didn't come to audition. I came with my friend. You know, he said, that's all right. Come on up to the piano anyway, you know. And I'm like, so I went up there and he plunked out a little something on the piano. He said, sing a ah, and I went ah, and then he did another one. He said, sing another ah, and I went ah, and then he said, did another one, and I said ah. He said, okay, go back and sit down, and I was like, whoo. You know. So when he finished with all the young ladies that was running around, he finally announced, he said, I have my group. He says, I have the group, you know. And so he picked the young lady that I went down there with. He picked
4 blocks. 4 blocks from Hanover.
Why didn't you just hit tight?
Because he's a stubborn kind of fella.
At the time,
Okay.
we were still the Del-Phis. It was myself, a girl named Gloria Jean Williams, or Johnson, a girl named Trudy, Beatrice, and Annette. We would get together and rehearse. I would go down to the Brewster Projects, where Mr. Larkins had the groups together, and we would rehearse down at the Brewster Projects. The Del-Phis did perform in this building. We did one show one time for my class in this building. While we were Del-Phis, we lost 2 of our girls. Kind of ended up with it being just myself, Annette, and Gloria Jean. So Gloria Jean knew Martha. And so Gloria invited Martha into our group as the Del-Phi.